Hi, I'm Louise. I'm the course manager of the Journalism and Digital Communications course here at South Downs campus. This is one of our main classrooms, so if you'd like to follow me, I'll show you around. So when I set up this course, I did it with the view of equipping students with the ability to have a multimedia knowledge. Working in industry myself, I can see how much it's changed, and students, they now need a range of skills rather than just to be able to do one thing to make them ultimately more employable. We work on a number of live project briefs across our first and our second years. So our first years are currently putting a magazine together, which we're bringing out this year. And they're using a number of skills, such as their written-based skills, but they're also using Adobe software to edit that magazine on, which is industry standard. They're using both InDesign and Photoshop to get their images and their text right to target their audience. And that will then be a virtual magazine for them to produce. The second years, we tend to put on a live event with the second years. This year it's had to be a little bit different. We're putting on a virtual exhibition, and they've been researching a range of social issues that affect the community, such as homelessness, racism, domestic abuse, etc. And they're putting together material using, again, industry standard software, and that will be presented to an audience that can access the virtual exhibition. Now, what we aim to do is teach them a number of transferable skills. So they've got all the research, the written work, and the presentation to given audiences. And whether they choose to go off and do a journalism-based course at university or, in the workplace, or whether they take those skills into other areas of industry, we're teaching them transferable skills. So there's a lot of opportunities that open up to them within a communications-based industry. We go lots of places. We back all of the theory work that we do up in class. We go out to places like the BBC, we go to Sky, we go to the Houses of Parliament for an understanding of how the laws that are made in government, affect the news stories that we're looking at and we're covering. So we try and get out and about as much as we can to make this as meaningful and a real life sort of project briefs for them. At the end of both the years, students will be working towards a final major project. So they'll be combining everything they've learnt, and they'll be taking that in a direction that they choose. And that's a great thing about UAL. It gives us that creativity so that students can really go down a pathway that they're really interested in. One of the second years already prepping for his final major project is in our podcast room right now.
My name's Harry. I'm on the second year now of the media course, and this is the podcast room. Right here we have a roadcaster, what we use for the main recording for our podcasts. So when you want to use this, we'd hit record and make sure our system's on here with the microphone. This also distributes the sound so you can see how loud we're going to be. If it's in red, that means we are talking too loudly and it'd pick it up, and when it comes into editing, that the system itself would sound really screechy. So we tend to have it set at a suitable sound for both of us if we're both in here talking. When we use this itself, we do it for our news packages. So when we did our news packages last year, we'd come in here, have a script, we'd read our scripts, we'd record it, we'd then transfer it over to the main machine over here, which we'd do when we'd hold down the settings in our hardware. We'd go on the micro SD card and it'd transfer over here. We'd then take that off here, take it back into our main room. We'd use it into editing, take it onto our Adobe Audition, take it off there, and we'd start playing around with the sounds we'd use for it. But before we do that, we'd use all this equipment here, and it'd be mainly just transferring the data from here to there. But using it on our course was mainly for putting together news packages and also as a side project that us and our course were doing.
So I hope that's given you a little bit of information about the Journalism and Digital Communications course.